Hello everyone, my name is Abubakar Salim and welcome to my channel. In the last tutorial, we discussed about simple if statement in C++ language, and we wrote this program in which uh, we discussed about length is if length is equal to width, then we'll print it is a square, otherwise we will print not square. So problem with this program is that in this program we are using two if statements, and if we are using two or multiple if statements in our program, the execution time will increase because the compiler will have to test all the conditions, which will increase the execution time, and this may affect the performance of the program. So instead of using multiple if statements, we can use an other alternative statement which is known as if else statement. Now, how can we use if else statement? Let's suppose we have a condition and we have two cases for that specific condition. For example, we want to check whether a number is even or odd. So let's say I'm going to create a variable and I'm going to name it num, and I'm going to assign it a value 5. Now we have to check whether the number is even or odd. Now we know that even number is a number that when divided by 2, the remainder is 0. It is divisible by 2. Similarly, a number is odd number if it is not divisible by 2. And we can do that by using an arithmetic operator, which is modulus operator. So we can do it by writing if num mod 2 is equal to 0. Now we can print cout, and I'm going to print even number and semicolon at the end of the statement. Now when I will run the program, and let's say we write if num mod 2 not equal to 0 or it's equal to 1, because whenever we divide an integer with 2, the remainder is either 0 or 1. You have to remember that it's a rule in mathematics. So in that case, I'm going to print odd and semicolon at the end of the statement. Now you can see I have used two statements, two if statements, and I'm using two conditions in those two if statements. So instead of using two conditions, I can use one condition, and I can say that if that condition is true, it means that the number is even number, and if that condition is false, the number is going to be odd number, because it is obvious that whenever we divide a number, an integer, by 2, the remainder is either 0 or 1. There is no third case there. So in that case, we can use if else statement. Now instead of writing if condition again, I will just write a keyword else, and I will not mention any condition here. And now when I will run the program, the output will be odd, because we have divided 5 by 2 and the remainder is not equal to 0. So the condition is false. That is why the else portion will be executed and the message odd will be printed on the screen. Now how this is how an if statement works. If the condition is true, uh, the first if block will be executed, and if the condition is false, else block will be executed. So this is how we use if else statement in the program. Now the compiler will not have to check the two conditions, and obviously when the compiler is only checking one condition, it means that the performance of the program will increase. It will increase like a very little amount, like in nanoseconds or milliseconds, but it affects. So we have to optimize the program. uh, let's say there is a condition which have multiple cases, or let's say there are multiple conditions. For example, I have to write a program that if user enters, if the number is positive, we have to print positive. If the number is negative with minus sign, we have to print negative. And if the number is zero, we have to print neutral. Now there are multiple conditions. Okay, so we can write this program either by using multiple if statements, like I'm going to do here, that if number is greater than 0, then it is going to be cout, and I will write positive, whatever you want to print here. I have written wrong spellings of positive, but it won't matter. So after that, if number is less than 0, then cout negative. Okay, I haven't put inverted commas. Okay, once again. So this is how we'll write cout statement in this case. And if the number is equal to 0, in that case we will print, what are we going to do? I'm going to print neutral. Okay. So this is a very simple program that we have created, but now I have used three if statements and three conditions will be tested here. Now when I will run the program, the output is going to be positive because the number is greater than 0. The first condition is true, but the problem with this program is that the first condition is true, but the program will still test the second condition and the third condition, which will automatically slow down the performance of the computer, of your program. So if you want to get rid of this, you can use another statement which is known as if else if statement. Now what this statement do is, in this statement we can use multiple else if. Whenever there are multiple conditions, you can use this statement. So if number is greater than 0, we can use we can print cout positive. If the number is greater than less than 0, the number is negative. And in the last case, we can again eradicate the condition. So now when we'll run this program, you'll see the same result, positive. Now let's suppose I have assigned the value 7, minus 7. Now in this case, the first condition will be false, the second is true, and the program will be executed. Now there might be a question in your mind that how the performance of the program increase in this case. Now let's see. Let's suppose the first condition in this case, the value of number is 7. So the first condition in this case is true. So the program will execute the first block, and after that everything will be ignored till the else. So the speed will automatically increase because the program will not have to test the multiple conditions here. Okay, as soon as the first condition is true, the program will execute, and it will uh, execute and complete the output. Okay, so this will help. Let's suppose the value is minus. Now it will first execute the first condition. The first condition is false, then it will execute the second condition, and automatically it will ignore the else part. Similarly, if the value is 0, in this case the output is going to be neutral. So this is how the program executes, and the output will be displayed on the screen with You can either use simple if statement, you can use if else statement, you can use if else if statement, depending on the logic and the program that you are creating. And this is very important concept in C++, in every programming language, the decision making that we have discussed in this video and in the previous video. And whenever we are creating logical programs, we have to know about these decision making statements. So I hope that you have understood that concept. You can again search for different practice problems in on the internet, on Google, and you can find different statements. Like you can create a basic calculator that can add, subtract, multiply, or divide two numbers. And I will also share a link of a video in which I have done that in C language. But you can have a logic, you can understand the logic, and you can create it in C++. So I hope that you have understood the concept. If there is any question, you can always ask me in the comment section. And I hope that you have liked the video. And if I'm right, then please subscribe the channel and like the video and share it with your friends. Thank you so much.